Yeah. For those of you that want to know
What's going on, guys, and welcome back to 777 Riding. Welcome to my part 2 video of the trimmer project. The remaining parts came for the weed whackers, and we're going to go ahead and install those and see if we can get these babies running. If you guys didn't see my last video, all we pretty much did was fix up the fuel systems in the weed whackers. If you guys want to see that video, I'll go ahead and leave that link. If you guys did see my last video, I did mention at the end of it I was going to record a bow shoot, but I couldn't just because we're up in the mountains, so the nights were pretty cold and my GoPro battery didn't want to cooperate. And also during the bow shoot, we were with a bunch of random people, so just wasn't the time and place, so sorry about that, guys. I'm hoping we can get these things running today. Don't expect everything to go right just because I'm not an expert mechanic, but I'll try my best to see what I can do here. So I'll go ahead and show you the parts that came. Right here is the new grommet piece that came. I don't know if you guys can see that, but here it is. I think it's the right size, I hope. And right here, these are the new batteries, and yeah, I think these are the right ones too. The batteries are going to be tricky just because we have to, here are the old batteries right here, but we're going to have to try to get these two little connections off, and we're going to have to solder them onto the new batteries. So it's going to be a little tricky, but hopefully we can do that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and fix this one up first just because it's a nice one and the grommet piece should be pretty easy to put on. So this right here, this is where the old grommet piece was, so we're just going to take the new one and go ahead and put it in. This thing's pretty tough to put back on there. Hopefully that's a good thing because hopefully the fuel leak will stop. Okay, this is probably going to take a while to put on, so I'll get back to you guys when I get that thing on. Phew! Took a little bit of elbow grease here to put that thing back on, but it's snug in there and it's the right size, thank God. Okay, so right now we're going to go ahead and put the little piece of fuel line that connects to the primer bulb back in. So there's two holes in the grommet piece, one for the main fuel line and one for the primer line. So I'm gonna try to shove that thing in there. But here, maybe I should put the fuel line on first. Yeah, maybe I should have done that. This will probably take a while, so I'll get back to you guys here as soon as I get that in. Okay, so it turned out that I had to take the grommet piece back out again just because when it's already back in there, you know, it kind of compresses it really tight, so it's hard to get the line in there. But anyways, we got the primer bulb line in there. Now we're going to go ahead and do the main line. So all we're going to do, just going to do like we did to the primer bulb line. We're going to go ahead and take the main fuel line and put it in the other little hole in on the grommet, which is obviously very tricky. There we go, it's in there. Okay, got the main line started. Now we're going to go ahead and just pull a little bit out because we have to put the suction hose filter back on. Just going to put it back in there, and yeah, I'll get back to you guys here in a sec. Okay, got the grommet piece back on. Holy crap. It is really hard to put that thing back on there when you got the fuel line in there, which causes the thing to expand. Dang. Alright, so that all put back together, we're going to go ahead and you guys can see the hose is sticking out of there. We're going to go ahead and stick my needle nose pliers in there, and we're going to go pull the main line out just like that, and go ahead and take the suction hose filter for this guy. We're just going to go ahead and push that thing right back on there. Just like that. There. That's done. Just like what we did for this gas tank. We're just gonna probably not pull it back out. Yeah, I might have to. Yeah, we want this thing at the bottom of the gas tank, so I have to stick my screwdriver in there to push it back down. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna clean this up, make it look perfect, and put everything back together, and fill it up with gas. Then we'll go ahead and try to start it. Okay, so I got everything put back together. My GoPro was getting a little hot, so I decided to let it cool off for a little while. And yeah, as you can see, got everything all put back together, and there's gas in the tank, everything. And during that time I was letting the GoPro cool off, I actually thought I'd pull it a few times, and it just didn't want to go, so I just decided to pull the spark plug out. And yeah, the spark plug was pretty wet. I think I may have pressed the primer bulb way too many times, so probably flooded the engine. But when I put the spark plug back in, I decided to pull it a couple more times, and like it was starting to go do like there's a little bit of combustion in there. So right now we're gonna go ahead and see if we can actually get this thing to actually run. So I think you guys can see that right there. So yep, you can get kind of excited. Okay, so right now I've been just squeezing the throttle and just running it on the when the choke is off. So right? Yep, see, that's what it's been doing. It's like do. Sounds like it's idling well and that it's running, but can you hear that clicking sound every once in a while? See? I don't know if you guys can hear that. I don't know what that is. Seems like it went away, but well, it's running. That's the good news. I may have to kind of like tune it up a little bit, but that's okay though. So I'm just gonna let it run a little bit more, then we'll move on to the home lights. So yeah. Well, after let it run for a little while and did a little bit of weed whacking, and yeah, it's running pretty good. The clicking noise went away after a while. I'll keep an eye on it, but yeah, right now we got one fixed weed whacker. So yay! And it's yeah, she seems to be doing okay. And we gotta now get this one fixed too. And this guy hasn't been running for a long time, and I don't even know if it's gonna start. May have to clean the carb on this one, but we'll do our best. So anyways, what we're gonna do with this guy is gonna see if we can get these two connections onto those batteries, and that's gonna be kind of tricky. So what we're gonna do, gonna take the new batteries, and as you guys can, just gonna go ahead and pull this tape off, just like that. And see, those are the connections that are on there right now. What I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna cut these things off, and I'll stick them on there. Right now I'll warm up the soldering iron, and we're going to solder those on. And I hope that works. We'll try our best, and then we'll get these charging wires on. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so we're over at the workbench, and the soldering iron is heated up, and we're going to go ahead and pull the old connections off. And how we're going to do that? Hopefully I don't shock myself. I don't think I will. But I'm going to go ahead, take the tin snips, and cut these things off just like this right here. one. There's two. And now I'll go ahead and solder these things onto the batteries, and then I'll get these charging cords on there, and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, so I went ahead and soldered the connections on just like that, and it looks like they're soldered on there good. I got them lined up with the holes that they connect to in order to bring power to the starter. And now what we need to do is we need to get the charging cords connected on there too with the soldering iron. But first we need to see if we're getting any voltage coming through. Okay, try again. Okay, see what we got. 4.5 volts. Switch them around, see if we get anything different. That's a solid 4.6 volts there, so it's good. Yeah, you know, we'll get the charger wires back on. Bad news, the fuse in the soldering iron here just blew up, so this thing's no good anymore. And here's the bad news, that I couldn't get that black wire connected. It cooled off too fast, and I don't know what to do now, so this really does suck. And I don't even want to attempt to plug this thing back in. I don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, it's probably not going to work at all. But yeah, I just looked down and I saw this big spark, and I just yanked that thing out as fast as I can, and it scared the crap out of me. I don't know if it was this or that. I hope it was just that, because this thing's kind of nice. So I don't know though. We'll see what else we can do here. Well guys, sadly I'm going to stop here for today. Just can't figure this whole mess out. I don't even want to bother with the soldering iron even more. I don't want to burn the house down. And can't figure out how to connect the charging wires to the battery and connect the battery to the starter. If you guys know how to do anything like that, feel free to comment below. That'd be helpful. And but look on the bright side. At least we got one weed whacker fixed and running. And yeah, and there will be a part 3, so stay tuned, and we'll see if we can, after all this mess is figured out, we'll see if we can get this one started. So, with that said, well guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you rev up that like button. That'd be awesome, and yeah, if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe, and you all have an awesome rest of your Monday. Thank you.